Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you a bunch of makeup products that I still love. These are older makeup products, I would say, that a lot of people would consider OG, old school YouTube products, things that whenever you would open a YouTube video, you would pretty much always hear one, if not multiple, of these products being talked about in that video because they were just so raved about back then. And these are the ones, because of course I tried so many back in the day, but these are the ones that, in my opinion, have really stood the test of time in my collection, whether that be it's just lasted this long or I purchased another one. A lot of the products that came out earlier on I've obviously repurchased at this point, but there's so much that I want to talk about and that I really believe are so good and really compete with some of the newer launches that have come out today. And I wanted to just share with you products that I'm using regularly. Of course, I'm not using every single one of these every single day, but I would say I'm definitely using a lot of these on the reg, and I wanted to share them with you. So these are definitely recommendations, and I definitely would recommend all of these products. If you want to check them out, I will have links in the description box down below, but just know if you decide to purchase one of these products through that link, I can make a commission off of your purchase at no extra cost to you, but I like to always be upfront and let you guys know that that is something that could go on. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let's go ahead and get into it. This past year, I've really been into, mid-tone pinky looks that are a little bit on the warmer side. This is the palette that I've been wearing the majority of the time. Like, if you see me, oh my goodness, I apologize. It is like pouring rain outside. It's like storming, but we're gonna carry on. So I apologize if you guys can hear the thunder. I'll try and edit it out. And if I do end up editing out, I'll look crazy right now. But the first product I wanted to mention, like I was kind of trying to introduce, is this Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay. Here's what it looks like. This is, I believe, $54. I'm not sure what price it originally was. I feel like maybe it was just like a little bit higher compared to other palettes at the time, but this palette is basically, whenever you see me wearing a warm tone pink look, this is what I'm wearing. I pretty much only use, like, I don't know what side of it it's going to be for you guys, but kind of this first half of the palette. I really don't use the darker shades as much, even though they are shades I think I would enjoy. Just whenever I think about this palette, I think, pink tone, rose gold, and that's kind of what I use it for. I just find the mattes in here to work great for me. I find the shimmers to work really well too. Sometimes when I want a little bit more amplification of color, I'll use, a setting spray or Fix Plus, or basically I'll just wet the brush, and that'll really do wonders. It'll really amplify that pigment on my eyelids, whether it be the sparkle that I'm looking for more of, or, the color. It really doesn't matter too much. Whenever I just want a little bit of oomph, I'll add that, but if I want something natural, this is really great for that as well. It's been a palette that I've really been enjoying this past year especially, but I think even before that it was one of my go-tos, and I know it didn't get the most wonderful reviews when it initially launched, and even now people don't have the most fond memories of it. But for me, it's worked really well, and that's all I can say. So I wanted to recommend this because it's been I really almost mentioned it in my yearly favorites this year, but then again, I wear a lot of single shadows. I don't wear palettes that often, but I would say out of all my palettes, this is definitely in the top 3. So a second ago, I mentioned kind of wetting my brushes, amplifying pigments, and what I use to do that. Basically, this is, I believe, my second or third bottle. It is the MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime Spray. Here's what it looks like. I believe this is $20-something, 26 or 28. Honestly can't remember, but they have revamped the packaging recently. It's a little bit more, I don't know, retro looking. I really like it. So when I run out of this, I'll definitely get another, of course. This is just a product for me that works really well for exactly what I want it to do. Very rarely do I use this to set my face, because I really don't set my face with the spray when I'm finished with my makeup, like, at all. Unless I really want everything to stay for a very long time, or I want everything to blend together, and it's just not at that point. What I'll mainly use this for is spraying my brushes to amplify pigment or amplify, sparkler, shimmer, anything like that, and it really does do that. I feel like it just takes my pigments, up a full level and really allows the product to, like, adhere to my skin. So if it's like a really crumbly shadow, this will help with that as well. You can also use this, I believe, when you're like repressing product and things like that. It's a really versatile product, and that is why I've gone through it. But again, this one I've had for, I believe, a year. And I've only gone through a very small portion of it, because you don't need a lot in order to really make your shadows just intensify. Although this next product, in comparison to some of the other ones that I'm mentioning, is a newer launch, I believe it came out in like 2018. I have used this product to filth. I mean, you can barely see any of the like labeling on the packaging, and one, that's because Too Faced packaging for me, I don't know what it is, but like their little like titles and their words on the side just always rub off, just no matter what I do. I know a couple people have a problem with that as well, but again, that's just the packaging. I don't care very much. This is the Too Faced Multi-Use Born This Way Sculpting Concealer. Here's what it looks like. I believe this retails for $29, and this concealer, you get so much product in it. It really is worth, you know, the amount of the price that you're paying for it. I believe you get more than pretty much any other concealer I can think of. This is 0.5 ounces, so it's just half an ounce, and I have mine in the shade Snow. Snow is a little bit yellow, like it has a little bit of a yellow undertone. I don't know how the rest of the shades in the range kind of like their undertones compare, but for me, this does have a little bit of a yellow undertone. It's great for you if you do have a more neutral complexion. This does a great job at canceling out redness or, you know, any discoloration, especially underneath my eyes. That is the primary place that I use this, and I would say this is 9 times out of 10 the concealer I'm wearing underneath my eyes for every day. I find that if I need a little bit more coverage, whether it be I just need it because I didn't get enough sleep, or if I want it to match better with my foundation that I'm using, it's more of a full coverage look and it just kind of would pair better if this had more intense coverage. I can always layer it up and I really can get that opacity that I'm looking for. Then if I want to sheer it out a little bit because I'm wearing like a skin tint, say, I really can do that, and that is why I use this pretty much all the time. It's great. Just, it's got this really nice big applicator. I would open it, but another flaw is it does, like whenever you open this product, it'll take all of like this residue, like residual concealer, and just kind of remain on the outside and get kind of messy. So I'm not going to do that, but the applicator is really nice and big, which makes things really easy. You just quickly throw it on and you can just blend it out just like that. So this product I highly recommend. I know that I just mentioned a concealer a second ago, but another one that I really enjoyed, this is definitely one that I only wear when I'm wanting a real nice full coverage. Like, I don't want anything showing through. I don't want any dark circles. You know, basically if I know that I'm going to be going out and I'm going to have a lot of pictures taken of me, or if I'm filming and I really just want my makeup to look super flawless and I don't want to, you know, have any of my under eye circles peeping through, this is what I go for. It is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is, I believe, $27. I have mine in the shade Fair Natural. Kind of weird. Yeah, Fair Neutral. I was like, Fair Natural is kind of weird, but Fair Neutral, this is a shade that works really well for me. It's basically just a shade lighter, I would say, than my actual, you know, skin tone. And this also has, I mean, I believe this kind of invented that really nice big applicator. So this is really easy to work with. I find it to be a tad drying underneath the eyes, but that's, again, because I'm not wearing it every single day, because it is so full coverage. I mean, it's a heavy duty concealer. So whenever I'm using it, I know I'm going to be pairing it with a, you know, full coverage foundation, a full glam look. That's just kind of what I use it for. I am wearing it today, and if you don't set it right, it can get creasy. I mean, that is with most concealers, but with this one especially because of, you know, just the level of pigment and opacity it has to it and how thick and consistency it is. It doesn't feel too heavy. I mean, it feels a little bit heavy underneath the under eyes, but not too heavy. This concealer, all I can say is it is a tried and true. I was, you know, doing some senior pictures the other day because I am, you know, going to be graduating this year, and I was having like a little photo shoot done, and this was the concealer I used, and of course it did not fail me. You know, I put it underneath my eyes, and even though we were going from place to place to place, taking pictures outside, it endured, you know, all of it, and it lasted throughout the day, which again is why I can really count on this thing. I know a lot of people have kind of hopped off the Shape Tape train over the years, but for me, this has just been one that I can consistently count on, and I've continually repurchased. So one thing I love is these ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. The one I have right here is Sailor, and I believe these retail for $6. You can get them in Ulta now, which is where I've been getting mine, and it's been really nice because like I can try them out in store, because they don't always appear the way that they do in the pan. Sometimes they come across a little bit differently, but I do have a couple of them. But the one that I can really count on, and it is why I'm telling y'all, this thunder, it's like crazy out there, but this shade in particular is one I can really count on, and I also feel like is unique, but it's really not like the specific shade. This, along with the blush that I'm going to mention, it's really not the specific shade. It's like the product itself. The ColourPop Super Shock Shadows, like this formula is so good. Here is what the shade Sailor looks like. It's kind of this light neutral brown. It's got kind of a bluish reflect to it, and like the shimmer that you see It's really pretty, you guys. It just gives a really multi-dimensional look that's still subdued, but it's like, oh, that's something different, and it kind of looks like you put a little more effort into it. The formula on these is great. I find that they're so easy to work with. If I want something really quick and I can do a one shadow look by just putting my finger in there, putting on a few layers, which is really nice because you can decide the opacity or the pigment level that you want. Especially when applying with your fingers, you know, the more you layer up, the more intensity you're going to get. If you want something really, you know, sheer and subtle, then you can do that as well. You can apply it with brushes. I find that I really only use brushes if I'm already, you know, going in with another palette and I've, you know, set down like shades in my crease to kind of give a more defined look. So you can always, I just threw it out of my hand. I would go pick it up, but honestly, I'm almost done talking about it. So you really can, you know, put it in your crease. You can do a lot of things with these shadows, and that is why I like them so much. It's like they're a cream to powder formula, so they're really easy to work with. And if you haven't tried them out at this point, I still would recommend trying them out because they still are so, they're so comparable to all the other newer launches, you know, the higher end single shadows that are coming out that are like $29. Those are really good, but so are the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Like I said, there's a blush formula that I can really count on, and this is the MAC Powder Blush formula. Here's what it looks like. This is just a compact that I've had forever, so it's kind of dirty. I'm not sure if you can get this shade anymore. I really want to pick up some more MAC blush shades because it's just their formula. You know, I've tried more shimmery blushes from them. I've tried more matte blushes like this one, and they all work so nicely. They blend out great. They're super buildable, which I love. I'm wearing this one on my cheeks right now. This is just kind of a rosy mauve blush. I know one that I really want to try, I'll have linked down below because that's the one that if I'm going to be picking up one soon, that'll be it. I can't remember the name of it. I'll insert a name on the screen, but these blushes, I love the formula so much on them. I mean, even back in the day, you know, people would rave about them, but now this is one that you still hear people talk about because this formula, in my eyes, is really top tier and it's hard to find one that's as good as this. So this was one of the first bronzers that I ever tried out. Not the specific one that I'm holding, but I remember when it was in the older packaging from Too Faced. This is the, let me tell you what it is, and then I'll get into more like reminiscent stuff. But this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It's a matte bronzer. I have mine in the shade Milk Chocolate, and I believe these are $30. Let me show you the inside because I will say in the compact it does look a lot more warmer, kind of orangey. It still is a warm bronzer, but it's not this terracotta-y, I would say. You can definitely, it just doesn't come across this intense of like a warm shade, but it gives this really nice, beautiful warmth to the face. I can kind of contour my face with it, but it can be more of a subdued contour. Pretty much anytime you see me, I combine my bronzers a lot, but pretty much any video I ever post, I will be wearing this bronzer, you know, regardless. This I believe I mentioned in my yearly favorites video, which honestly I was surprised that I didn't mention in my last one, but I remember using this way back in the day. It was one of the first bronzers that I had ever tried out, and I just thought it was incredible. And then I got away from it because I finished up that bronzer, and then I bought a new one. I don't remember, it was one of the more recent Sephora sales. I don't know if it was definitely 2019, I would say. And really and truly, this bronzer has become a favorite of mine, and I can't go a day without using it. It's crazy. One that does compare, I will say, one that does compare is the Milani Silky Bronze. I'll insert a picture on the screen, but that one is very comparable. The price tags are not that different though, so I don't know. I believe like the Milani one's like half the price of this one, and that is one that I can sometimes replace for this one if I want to, you know, switch it up a little bit. But really and truly, this is the go-to. This is the tried and true. I mean, you guys know I talk about this all the time. So the next product is a highlighter, and this was like the affordable highlighter back in the day because a lot of drugstore brands had not jumped on the like highlighter train yet. Now a lot of them have. I mean, Wet n Wild, Maybelline, all of them, but this was one of the only drugstore more affordable highlighters available at the time. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Here's what it looks like, and this is in Be My Highlight 01. This is what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I will say this is not one I use as often as the other products, but I find that the formula is still killer, and just one that I can really count on. It's dependable. It just gives this really subtle glow to the cheeks. So if you're someone who likes a more, you know, intense, shimmery look, you probably won't like this one as much just because it is more natural, more subtle. But just for me, it gives a really nice radiance, luminosity to the cheeks, which I just absolutely love. I love putting it on the high points of my face, and I do use this pretty often, just not as often as the other ones. But nonetheless, I would recommend it, especially for this amazing price. Like, it just performs like a high-end highlighter. Like, if you didn't tell me the price, I would tell you it was definitely high-end. It's no secret that one of my favorite gloss formulas is from Buxom. I love their polishes, but I really love their cream finish formulas of their glosses. This is one of the cream formulas that I just, from the beginning of time, remember, or like from the beginning of my time in the beauty community watching videos, I just remember using. It is the Buxom Full On Lip Cream in the shade White Russian. This is one that when I heard people talking about it, I had to try it. It was like the perfect shade for me. I was like, I can wear it on its own. I can top it over lipsticks, and that's still how I feel about it today. It really does not matter what shade of lipstick I'm wearing. If I want something to just kind of tone down the look but add a little bit of a glossy finish, this is what I go for. It truly is just a tried and true product of mine. I don't think I'll ever... that's a big statement. I was gonna say ever, like there'll ever be a time in my life where I'm not gonna have one of these on hand. That's probably not true, but I do know this is one of my favorite products, and I have repurchased it, and just I don't know. It's something about this formula that I absolutely adore. It does have a slight plumping effect to it, so if you don't like plumping products, I mean, it's really not too intense. It just has a little bit of a tingly sensation and kind of that minty feel, but other than that, it's not too intense. But I do like to note that because I know like some of my closest friends have the biggest aversion to plumping products, so I always like to make note of that. This is a product that I remember hearing a ton of people talk about when Glossier kind of first came to the scene. I feel like this was one of the first products that really was popularized, and I'm not really referring to this specific version. I'm kind of just talking about the product in general. This is the GlossierBalm.com. This is the BirthdayBalm.com. You can tell how much I love it just based on like how gross the outside packaging of it is. I believe these are $12, but you can get them in some pack deal where they're going to be a little bit more affordable price per product. But this one particularly, I have the cherry one, really do enjoy that one, but that one has a little bit of a tint. This one has zero tint. It's like a clear base, but it has some shimmer in it, and the shimmer really is nothing too intense. You know, a lot of times when a product has shimmer in it, I find that these are like little glitter particles and they irritate me. This one doesn't, and the smell is glorious on this thing. It smells so good. Like, just, it's like that Mayfield ice cream. That's exactly what it smells like, the like birthday ice cream where it has like little blue sauce in it or whatever. It smells just like that, or like birthday cake ice cream in general. And really and truly, the smell is what gets me every time. But I do think it really does help with the dryness on my lips. Not a lot of things do help with moisturizing my lips, but I think this one does. And, you know, it smells good. It just adds a little bit of something, like a little bit of radiance, luminosity to my lips that they're always seeking for life. Like, they need it. And it's really easy to just, you know, throw on and go. And you can also use it on your skin as kind of a salve. You can use it to moisturize your dry skin, which of course I need. I don't use it as much for that because it is so like glossy that I just don't love that feeling on my skin, but on my lips it does feel really nice. Alright guys, that about wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, I really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up so I know to do more of these kind of reminiscent, nostalgic type videos in the future. Also, if you want to check out more of my videos, I'll have them linked down below, as well as some social media links if you want to check out my socials. I'm trying to be really active, especially on Twitter. That is one that I just love interacting with you guys on there, and in the comment sections on here. Just interacting with you guys is one of my favorite things about, you know, having a channel and, you know, all of this. It's just interacting with people who have like a passion for makeup like I do. It's just really fun and I really enjoy it. So yes, if you're new here and you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to join the little family that we've created here just by hitting that red button down below. And if you want to be notified whenever I upload in the future, you can click that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. I don't know what that was, but like a bell icon right next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified whenever I upload in the future, or, you know, post something on my community tab, which I've been trying to do more of. We'll work on it. We'll get there. If you have any video recommendations or anything you want to let me know in the comment section down below, I would love to hear from you. Also, yeah, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Just everything you guys do, all your support really does mean so much. So I want to thank you for that. I always try to, even though it sounds really cheesy. So yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Hope you have a great couple of days till then.